And a pleasant good evening. It is Tuesday night, and we are live at the Broken Spoke Taphouse. My name's Ernesto Garcia, and welcome to the Mesilla Valley News Sports Podcast from the Broken Spoke Taphouse, brought to you by our friends over at Ragged Apparel. I'm going to ask my good friend, Keegan, our producer today, if you can bring up the volume just a little bit more up there on the speaker there, and therefore the audience there can hear. If you can bring up the volume a little bit more over there, my man. All right, so we're getting a chance to get ready to go, and we appreciate everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We're glad that you're able to join us. We're going to be welcoming our special guest in a second, which is Lori Selby. She's the head coach of the Las Cruces. Lady Dogs, or we just call them Bulldogs?
I like to just call them the Bulldogs. I'm not a fan of the lady, but either way you go, we're proud of who we are.
Because I know it's Lady Knights and it's Lady Hawks.
Right, I know they do. I've always just kind of push back against that, but hey, we're good with it. We want to be distinct too from the boys program, but we're good with either.
Well, there is a distinction between you and the boys program, but there's one thing I know. We have a competition between you and Coach Benjamin going on. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about your wonderful principal, Ms. Rogna, all coming up. But first things first, let's talk about what's going on here at the Amador Live. I want to show you right now. This is the big party that everyone's getting ready for, the New Year's Eve event that you do not want to miss out. December 31st, 6 p.m., $10 cover 21 and over party at all the major locations here at the Amador Live. It's a big New Year's Eve party. You do not want to miss out. Maybe some glow, some dancing. I tell you what, Coach Selby could probably do some dancing with some glow sticks. If she wins the hoopla tournament, she'll be wearing that, right?
Hey, if you watch the sidelines, I do a lot of dancing every day.
Don't worry, I have that video set up. Your PR people were quick enough to point that out to me and send that to me so I could show that a little bit later. Let's get right to it. Don't miss out on the big glow party that's coming up. Also, the great drink specials, great afternoon. We got a packed place. It was quiet here, and then all of a sudden you show up and look what comes.
Hey,
everybody.
Listen, I always bring a crowd everywhere I go, so you got to expect that a little bit. But it's good to see a lot of locals out here having a good time.
The officials have something to say about that. We'll talk about a little bit. I know. Put her on the spot. Well, you got some friends here. Who else is here with you, by the way?
I'm here with my wife, Bobby Jo, and
my
Bobby
daughter,
Zia Ryan. So she's excited to be here. And then here with some Bulldog fans here. And one of my players is here and her family. So that's cool.
Well, there you go. We're going to talk about your players. We're going to talk about your team as we'll get started right off the bat. We're welcoming you to come in. If you want to comment and have some questions here, we already have a comment that did come in. And that's from Stephanie. We wanted to say hello, guys. So thank you, Stephanie. Thanks for watching us here this afternoon. If you have a question for Coach, please go ahead and ask. And hopefully we get Coach Benjamin. He likes to come in and razz all the Las Cruces high school coaches. He was the first one I brought in this season. And you know Coach Benjamin, he's a little outspoken, wouldn't you say? Just a little bit?
Oh, I mean, you'd have to have a longer podcast than this if he gets on that.
Oh, I've had it. Oh, yeah, no, we go through everything. And then suddenly it goes into talk about politics. I'm like, we're talking sports, Coach.
He's a man of many talents.
And then he talks about Charles Barkley, Tiger Woods. He'll go on and all of it. So, but of course, he's having a beautiful 10-0 season and, of course, getting ready for the holiday hoopla. So is your team. But let's get it right to it. This past Saturday, you guys got back on the win streak at home, beating a very good Cleveland Storm team. And it was great to get the win at the home gym.
Oh, yeah. It's always good to win at home. And Cleveland is one of those programs in the state that's just a stellar program that makes it to the state tournament every year. So, it was a big win for us at home, and proud of the kids for the fight and the passion they played with on Saturday.
Well, I'll tell you what, with that passion and that part that went along here, it's also great to say that your team certainly needed that win. It felt like after the loss of Carlsbad, little things didn't go right on the road. What happened from that transition between 24 hours that you saw a big change on your team?
That's a hard trip to go to, that Carlsbad trip. They're such a great team. They're well coached. They're physical. They play hard. And we just didn't match that night collectively as a team. So we had a long bus ride home to think about it. Anybody who knows me, I watched film all the way home, getting ready for Saturday's game. And I thought our kids responded exactly the way you'd want them to respond after a tough loss like that. They came in and handled that game and were in control of the game from first quarter to fourth quarter. So I was proud of them.
Gotcha. We got Stacy. You're one of your press people over here who's enjoying some fun. Wanted to say go Coach and go Dogs. So let's talk about the game on Friday. What was the final score again on that one on Friday?
On Friday, we ended up losing by 15 points to Carlsbad. We had it was a 3-point game at halftime, and we had to dig our way out of a hole. We started that game down 11-0, so it's hard to dig your way out of a hole twice, and we kind of put ourselves in a hole again in the second half. and just didn't have enough gas to finish the game there. So great learning experience for our team. Um, I'm sure we'll see Carlsbad down the road. So, it was a tough loss to a tough team, and we look to rebound from that, and we did on Saturday.
Well, Allie Myers is one of their best players, and I saw her play last Monday when she took on Centennial,
Yes.
and that was and I noticed the one thing I noticed was very physical. And do you think they got off pretty off the physical start, and that threw your team off a little bit?
Oh yeah, I mean, the physicality kind of knocked us on our heels a little bit, and we had mixed up our lineup a little bit. We had kids a little shell shocked, I think, with the minutes they got. So it was a good opportunity for them to see what it takes to play at the varsity level and have to match that physicality. I mean, that's just one of those things we teach our kids about playing with passion and with fight. And we kind of back down a little bit, and you don't want to see that, but it's a good lesson early in the season, because we're going to play a lot of physical teams in district, that's for sure.
Well, a lot of people say your team might not be so physical that, and that hurts on the offense, because if they get into a defensive matchup and suddenly it's a 5-6 score at the end of one quarter, that's not what a coach wants to see. But if you're within the game, it's almost like what the Aggie men's basketball team is doing. They hang in there, play some scrappy ball and parts like that, and then hang in there and get the win done when they need it to be.
Right, and that's what we've talked about. I tell the kids all the time, hey, keep it close and get us to that fourth quarter. I know that between us as coaches, I have a great coaching staff, and the kind of kids we have, that we can win any game. There's no gap that's too big for us to overcome. You just have to keep fighting, and if it gets too physical and you don't match it, that's when you're kind of dead in the water.
So you must have been very proud that the girls were able to rebound the way they did and respond the way within 24 hours and get it out of their head. It's like one of those mental things that you can't do anything more. You've shown them the plays. You've shown them everything you can do. It's now up to them to get it done, isn't it?
And that's the conversation we always have. We do a great job preparing our kids. Our game planning is top notch. And so you just tell the kids at that point, it's your turn to put the ball in the bucket. And so, they do a great job of executing game plans. They've been competitors from the first game of the season. There's just been no lack of effort and fight, and saw a little bit of that in that Carlsbad game, and we saw the result of that was we lost. So I think that was a good lesson for them. We got home at 2 a.m, had practice the next morning, and had a game. So I thought they rebounded well.
Well, I'm glad they rebounded well. Now let's talk about the district here. You're a 6-3 squad right now. You're looking at a Lady Knights team that's 8-2. And let me just kind of break this distinction down a bit. The boys district tournament, right now, everyone thinks it's Cruces is to lose, and they've got probably the biggest target on them. And after that, it's like a battle for second and third, which means there's a good chance a couple teams in our area are going to make that state tournament when you have this many teams. But on the girls' end, it really does feel like between amongst yourselves, Centennial, obviously Mayfield, which has always done really well, and a very surprising Lady Knights squad as well, who, when we had their coach on at the beginning of the season, she said, you can look out for my team. They're going to be there. She wasn't making that up. And now your team right there as well. This is going to be a very fun district, and we're going to get a good taste of it at the Holiday Hoopla tournament coming up.
Oh yeah, this district, any team can win on any given night. You can't look past any team in our district, and so that's going to be exciting for the kids, exciting for us to coach, exciting for the fans. It's going to be fun basketball. Like you talked about, who's going to be the team that keeps it close and fights and plays great defense and sells out. I think that's one of the things that's won us a lot of our games is we play great defense. We're very good at switching man to zone and doing lots of things. So, it's going to be fun. There's no gimmies in 3-5A.
No, there is no gimmies, and that's why I'm saying I'm looking forward to seeing, because I'm already starting to see how all these teams are playing out, and I see where each team's strengths and weaknesses are. One thing's for certain, we're going to have a lot of close games and a home court advantage. I mean, you could have a Centennial team show up at your place, and that's not necessarily a home court for you. A Holiday Hoopla tournament that is even at their place, still not a home court advantage for them. And I think part of it is because the teams have gotten so competitive, but I'm surprised how fast it took. It's unlike boys. Why is it in girls that they are so much more competitive with each other? Is it because there's enough talent that's spread around, or you think that's what's happened?
Well, I think for sure that's the number one thing that's happened. Each of the 4 high schools here have great talent. They're all very well coached. They all have kids who've grown up playing club basketball or playing together, and so there's just a competitive nature that across the board that we've missed for a while. In the past, you kind of knew Mayfield was going to be there. Cruces was going to be pushed a little bit, and then when Centennial came into the city, really quickly they became competitive. So, but now you've got across the board. I mean, Gaston could push for a win. In the last couple of years, Dimming's been really good. So it's going to be fun basketball, and I think it's great for the sport. It's great for kids to see, that putting that time in does pay off, and it pays off in team wins too. So
one of the biggest arguments I hear is that the Southern teams aren't going to compete well with the Northern because they just don't have the size. They don't have what it takes. What do you hear about that? And when you see that, when they talk about teams like Hobbs and other teams that they say will be the favorites, La Cueva, obviously, and Rio Rancho as well. What do you hear what do you tell them when you hear all that stuff?
Well, I mean, you want size. I mean, no coach would come in and say, hey, I just don't care if I get size or not. I mean, you want it. But what we do is we coach the kids we get, and we figure out a way to get the best out of them and to get them competing regardless of size. And there's lots of things you can do defensively to kind of help negate that a little bit. Yeah, I think our quickness is one of our strong points. We're able to push and push and push, and a lot of the teams with those bigs struggle versus that. So, you definitely would like to walk out and you got a 6'4" post on the court, but when you don't, you figure out ways to win, and you get the most out of your kids, and you'll be surprised, the teams you can beat. But bar none, I mean, Hobbs is one of those teams that just, you walk in the gym and they look like they're a junior college program. La Cueva is amazing this year, Volcano Vista. There's some really good teams up north. But here in the South, we play really good basketball, and we've surprised people in the past, so that's the plan.
Well, one of the things that I've noticed from all the teams so far, watching as many as I have, saw some film on yours, is defense. It is the key. If you're in those games, it's it. But like you said, a 15-point deficit, it's going to be hard to get back on that trail. But like you said, it's a mental thing. They got to understand that's why we keep it close. And if it is close, look what can happen in 3 or 4 quarters.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know for us personally, defense is the key to what we do. We thrive on that. It's where we get our energy. It's where a lot of times, if it's a close game coming out of first half, we have amazing second halves where our kids just come out and just push tempo, cause turnovers, cause deflections, and it creates the energy we need to push us through and get us to win in the second half. So that's something we pride ourselves in.
I can tell you one thing I'm also seeing a lot amongst all the teams, a lot of passing, and a lot of reasons why we're seeing scores. I mean, a possession, there is no shot clock. In girls hoops, you only have to get past the 8-second part. And after that, hopefully it doesn't become the holding game, because I know fans don't like seeing that. But sometimes it is a strategy that you have to use against tall trees.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to. I think in our district, all the teams here, we all have a attacking mentality. We're not trying to play not to lose. We're trying to win. And you won't see that you'll see exciting basketball in our district. Now, when you get up to state, obviously there's things you got to do maybe outside of your comfort zone to beat some teams, and that's okay. I mean, that's the name of the game. But here in our district, it's electric basketball. Come out and catch some games, because all 4 high schools really put a good product on the floor.
Before we got into the hoop a little bit more, let's get into your background. First time I get a chance to interview you. What is your background? I do know that you were once coaching Centennial High when that school came on. You were the first women's basketball coach for that part?
Yeah, I've been coaching here in Las Cruces for 24 years. I started when I was 18 coaching high school basketball, coached through college, and got hired at Cruces High and worked there for about 14 years, and was always wanting to be a head coach, but that's hard. You got to wait for an opening, and a lot of the coaches around here were looking to stay for long periods of time. And when Centennial was opening,
like there's a guy in Mayfield that's been there for a while. Not that he's been there since even when I got into high school.
They'll be willing him in for games. I guarantee you. He lives and breathes that. But when Centennial opened, it was a great opportunity for me to go get my feet wet as a head coach, and proud of what I did there for the first 5 years and with that program. And but when the opportunity presented itself when Coach Abney was retiring, and it was an opportunity really for me to go home, because Cruces High is where they gave me my first chance, both as a coach and as a teacher. And so a lot of proud moments at Centennial, a lot of proud of those kids. I had great administration, worked with Coach Louis Labarine, who replaced me when I left there. But excited to be at Cruces High. It's home. I love those kids, and it's where I see myself long term.
Well, you replaced Matt Abney. You talk about him, and I don't think you really replaced him. He didn't really go anywhere, because I see him still up and out at MSU. I don't think he'll ever get away from this area. I would worry if he didn't show up to any events, but he gets to be a statistician helping you out. Is that how that works?
He does some stuff for me, especially during COVID. He helped out a lot, but he's really just a silent partner, if you will. He gives me advice. He's an ear to bend when I'm game planning. He's a great friend first and foremost, and those were some huge shoes for me to fill coming in to becoming the head coach at Las Cruces High. But I appreciate the time I spent with him. I learned a lot. He prepared me for this position, and no, that guy, he's one of the top notch basketball minds in our state, and you know he provides a lot both to NMSU athletics and as a friend he helps me a lot. So he gets a lot of late night calls from me.
What kind of calls do you get? What do you ask him when you call him?
Well, with his experience and then also with the time we spent together on a coaching staff, it's just natural. That's who you call. That's who you talk to. And I have great assistant coaches. They do a lot for the program. They help prepare us as well. It's just, I don't know. We're best friends. So when there's a defensive matchup coming up, if I'm struggling with a certain type of, we're trying to score, we're struggling to score, he's an ear to bend and he helps me out a little bit. A lot of times he listens a lot and lets me come to the answer on my own. So I appreciate that.
Well, I'm glad that you get a chance, and that's great to have. And I have a feeling that when like I said, he said he was going to retire, everyone was like, wow, they couldn't believe it. But when he did, it was amazing. But he didn't really retire. He's still going out there. He's watching this right now. He loves when these come on because he's like, hey, you brought her on now. Great. And so I know you've been asking for you to be on, and we're glad that we get a chance. We're going to have Keegan fix the camera here a little bit. We're having some issues there. So they're getting good shots of you on your side and our complexions here. So,
right. So you're not going to find a good side. So just pick one.
No, that's okay. There we go. As long as we get both of our shots in there, there we go. If you're just joining us, we're here at the Broken Spoke Tap House, and we're having a good time right now. We've got Tuesday night football. Wow, a lot of football going on. All these COVID protocols. How's your team adjusting to COVID protocols? And of course, it's all about the masks these days.
All about the masks. What was awesome for us as coaches is, through the COVID year, as frustrated as we were with the mask and with the mandates, the kids really just wanted to play. So I didn't get a lot of, we didn't push back on the mask. Our kids just wanted to play, so they were willing to do whatever it took. And it's second nature to them now. It's sad that it is, but the fact that we're able to play, we're able to have fans in the gym, we're willing to do whatever we need to do to make that happen.
By the way, you got a Cat Rodriguez, this person over here who wanted to say, there you go, dogs.
Former Bulldog parent.
I tell you what, you bring in the fans. They love hearing from you. If you got something you want to ask Coach, I'm waiting for the principal, who I know is always on social media.
She's on vacation right now. So
don't worry, she's still watching. You think she's on a vacation? Do you really believe Ms. Ragna goes on?
She doesn't take a vacation.
No, she does not. No. I can already tell you that.
She deserves one, though. She's, for the city of Las Cruces, for the state of New Mexico, Michelle Ranga, the things she's done for high school athletics, for kids in general, you're just not going to find anyone better. And I feel so blessed, to call her my boss, but to call her my friend. And she's just amazing. And I'm not just saying that. Like anybody you ask, she just does everything she can and puts kids first. So I'm proud to call her my boss. All
right, Coach, I want you to help me settle a debate here. I was watching a Mayfield game on Saturday, and they were taking on Hobbs. The Hobbs coach was trying to figure out, because you were talking about how the players are adjusting and playing masks. I have the mask on here.
Okay.
They have to have it on most of the time. Now, are they allowed to take off the mask and breathe for a little bit like this, or does it have to stay on all the time?
I thought going into this season that the rule was, if there's a break in a play and a kid walked away 6 feet and needed a breather, could pull it down. But second game of the season here in town, we had officials saying they have to keep it on from the tip to the last buzzer. And
so there is no adjustments of that.
That's what they say. But listen, our officials have been great. There's definitely a difference between blatant choosing not to wear it and shoot, I've been playing for 10 minutes straight and I need to take a breather. I think the officials have been really good to allow the kids that. And again, it just depends on who's on the court. They're a little pickier with rules like that, but we enforce it in practice. We enforce it in games. But I challenge anybody to go throw a mask on and go run for 32 minutes up or longer up and down a court. That's tough. It's tough on kids. So, you have to understand once in a while those kids need to bring it down and grab a breath.
But let me ask another question then. You were just in Carlsbad. Did anyone really notice much on the eastern part? Is there a difference between what's going on in the eastern part of the state and the southern part when it comes to masks, and the officials go ahead, keep it on? You have to keep it here all the time.
I would say the New Mexico officials are preaching the same message from the top of the state to the bottom. You're definitely going to be in certain parts of the state where they're going to make less of a deal of it in a game. And we did notice that a little bit when we were over there. But they didn't change for the kids. They just wore their masks the way they're supposed to and did their thing. But it was a little less aggressively preached at them a little bit. But I understand we all just want to keep playing. So we're willing to follow those rules and keep everybody safe.
All right, I'm going to ask you a couple questions about the Hoopla tournament now. Okay. Good news is everyone's on break. Vacations are done. Finals are done. You can really start to get into it here. How hard have you been working this team? How hard a practice has been? And then you're like, okay, guys, Friday, girls, Friday and Saturday. Don't eat so much. Keep yourself in shape. We'll practice Sunday maybe, or we'll go right, or you're going to go right to practice. How's the schedule looking as you head up to the Hoopla, knowing that starts on Monday and you got Christmas on Saturday?
Right. We're going to give the kids Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off. Because we've gotten permission to practice on Sunday. So otherwise we'd be practicing Christmas Eve. And we don't get pushback from that. The kids understand, the parents understand. This is a commitment they made at the varsity level, and holiday tournaments are part of that deal. And so most all of our kids are here committed. We've practiced every day this week, and the Hoopla's huge. You want to go and perform well at your tournament here in town. So and like you said, it's a home game for us. When we go play at Centennial, our fans travel very well. So, we're excited to go there and to perform and do well. You want to come away with a championship there.
All right. Well, one thing I want to talk to you about is you will have the special Sunday practice. So that will help out to get you ready to go. And then who's your first opponent? I think you get a morning game, if I'm not mistaken.
No, we play at 3:00 on Monday versus Shiprock. So, that's going to they're a great team. They'll come down and we get to play against some northern basketball, really northern. And that's good. Most of our kids don't ever play against a team like that. So it's going to be good. We're already game planning. We're already, we've got a lot of film on them. So we're preparing for Monday. And tournaments are cool because it's like a state tournament feel because you win and stay. And so you don't have much time to prepare. You don't have time to celebrate a win too much or dwell on a loss. You prepare for the next day, and that's what we're going to do.
All right. And if everything goes right, this is probably setting up for a matchup. I think the top two teams would be you and Centennial. How would they go right off the bat to get right into one of your rivals that you're going to have to face twice, 2 more times?
Hey, we're excited. I mean, the goal is always to play for a championship in a tournament and play for a championship at the end of the season. We have to get through a very tough – our bracket has the tougher side of the bracket, I'd say, it has us and – Burgess coming in from El Paso. They're one of the top teams in El Paso. They are extremely good. So, we're not looking past Burgess for sure. I mean, that's going to be a very tough game for us, and we've got to prepare very well. Our kids have to play very well to win that game. So we're focused on one game at a time, but it would be exciting to go, play against Centennial and that's the goal. That's always the goal. So,
all right, let's talk about your team in general. It's off to a 6-3 start. You got 2 players that average 23 points, and I think a mom is going to yell if I say the name Emma. That's your leading scorer at about 15 points a game. Is that what Emma's averaging right now?
Yeah, she's actually at about 16 now after our Carlsbad game. We put a lot of pressure on her. She does a great job at the point. She's done that for 3 years as a point guard. But, coming into this season, we told her, you need to be a scorer for us. You need to get to the rim. Your role is increased. The responsibility has increased. And she has risen to the occasion beyond what any of us really, we didn't shortchange her, but we really didn't see that she was going to be averaging 16 points this early in the season. And we're just –
as a junior too, right?
We just couldn't be proud of her. Our team lives and dies off the energy she brings. Scoring is great, and, of course, we need that. We need her to continue to do that. But what she does on the defensive side of the ball is what really makes us tick. I mean, I don't know how many games we've been in a 2-point, 3-point ball game at halftime, and within the first 3 minutes of the game – Emma's got 4 steals, 5 steals, and we're off to the races, and it just gives us fuel. So we're excited about that. Her performance, what she does, and everybody feeds off that energy. Even me as a coach, I feed off what she brings to the table.
Did Emma choose number 23, or did she just get lucky to get number 23 on that end? And let me guess, how does one ask for the number 23 from coach? No,
Well, we've always done it where seniority kind of rules on that, and she had to wait her time for one of our seniors to graduate last year, and as soon as she did, she was next in line and she grabbed it. And we preach to our kids, numbers are just numbers. You make the number, but you know how it is in today's day and age. They like to get the number that reflects their personality. So, but I think she's brought great pride to that number. I'm super proud of her. You bring up the scoring, it's amazing, but it really what she does for us, can't just be summed up in a number.
And do you think a lot of teams have picked up on Emma Cristiano and look to stop her somehow?
Oh, of course. I mean,
you see extra double teams or anything such?
There's all kinds of things you can do defensively, but I will tell you the quickness that she brings to the court is going to make it tough for any team defensively to do just about anything. So we're not really concerned about that because she's really good at handling the basketball, and we kind of invite that pressure. We like the pressure. More pressure, the better. It's been when we've thrived.
By the way, you've got a big fan club here. You got Jason Zeal who wants to say hello, and then you also got you go, cuz got family members now watching you here. They're all sharing the video. That's fine. That's the holiday season. Let me ask a fun question, Coach. And this one's just a little more fun for you. Did you get all your holiday shopping done?
Let me tell you, Ernesto, a coach's life of trying to get gifts bought for Christmas. I feel so bad for my family and friends because I'm a last minute shopper, but I always take care of those around me. So it might be a week late, but it's coming. So do a lot of online shopping, that's for sure.
But it's not the assistant coaches doing it, right?
Oh no! Listen, no, it's definitely not. I don't pass on my personal stuff to them, but they do enough for me already. So,
Coach, I see how to put you on the spot on that one. By the way, what do you get Coach Benjamin for Christmas? What would you get that guy?
Listen, I would get that guy. Listen, he's Showtime now.
He's Showtime now.
Coach Benjamin has gone from he used to be real vanilla when it came to stuff. But now he's got lights and smoke and lasers at his game. So I don't know. I might get him a light up tie or some shoes that light up because I call him Showtime.
You know what? You're going to probably have to get him an HBO Max subscription so you can watch that show about the Lakers and his favorite team back in the day.
Yep. He's a walking basketball encyclopedia, though. It's really cool. He knows as much about basketball as he knows about baseball. He's a great resource and a good friend and a great teacher. So I feel blessed to be able to work at a school with a boys basketball coach who is not only a great coach, he's a great teacher and a great friend.
You also have another player that gets into double digits. Which player is that one?
We recently our second leading scorer has been ruled ineligible. I don't know if people know that. That's not something that the NMA has come out with, and in all reality, Ernesto, our 6-3 record now is 1-7. We had to forfeit those wins.
I did not know this.
Yeah, we're not sure where that's going to lead or go, but what we're focusing on as a program and as a team is what we've done together since the beginning is play hard, play together, play with passion. We have a bunch of players who play great roles. And so Saturday's game is a perfect example. We went out without her and handled Cleveland, the way we needed to. So it's just a next man up mentality, and we do what we got to do. And that's where we're at as a program and as a team. And, it's a great life lesson for the girls that, you just control what you can control. And it's been rough, but I think the kids have responded well. They all want to just compete, and our goal is to go win the district championship and make it to the state tournament.
So it's safe to say that now you have another mental part here. So the 6-3 record is going to go to 1-7. Did Ernie Villamontes inform you much longer? How did this all play out?
This all is handled by the NMAA, and those decisions come down, and our job is just to move forward. That's what we do. Was this before
these two games this past weekend? Okay.
Yes. So we played the last two games minus that player, and I think we were a little shell shocked Friday a little bit. We had to get people's roles have changed, and so that was a learning curve on Friday night. But I think after that game, the kids responded. We kind of just stepped up and did what we needed to do. And as a coaching staff, we had to make some adjustments, and the kids did well. So in life, it could be a season-ending knee injury. You look at Centennial; they lost Coach Lab's daughter, and for most of the season,
who might make it back
right?
later.
Yeah. But during that time, those kids have to step up and play different roles. So whatever the reason is, really is irrelevant. Right now, it's just about us coming together as a program and pushing through and letting that issue handle itself on its own.
Coach, I got to put you on the spot here on something that I just am amazed that you do. For some reason, when the team is starting to get on a roll, the girls jump up high. I understand that, but I didn't think you were going to go jump higher than they are. I can't tell the difference sometimes on the sidelines between you and the players. Where does this extra energy come from, and where it gets you next to a 5-0 run, a good defensive stop, a block, a 3-pointer? You are up there now. I'm not going to embarrass you. I'm not going to show.
I don't get embarrassed, Ernesto. I'll tell you that right now.
I know you're not getting embarrassed, but you're lucky I can't bring up the video right here to show it to anybody.
If anybody wants to see it, you can go.
We'll have the hoopla tournament. I'm just going to say, has any official come up to you and say, okay, you got to.
Here's the thing, Ernesto. Like, as a player, that's the way I played. I was that way on the court. I was that way if I was on the sideline cheering my teammates on. That's just the only way I know how to approach a competitive situation. I tell my kids, I'm hard on them. I have no problem, correcting them hard. But at the same time, I will provide that equal or not more amount of passion and support when they do something well. And, I have that reputation. I've been that way for 24 years. I celebrate on the sideline, and, it just comes from who I am and as a competitor and how I want my kids to perform. It's not fun if it's not fun, and you got to show people you're having a good time. And I want my kids to celebrate each other when their teammate takes a charge. I want them running over and celebrating that. But you're right. I leave a lot of games and I'm sore the next day, and I wonder why. And then I know. I go back and watch film, and I get clips from coaches from the district and coaches around the state. They'll show their team's film.
Look,
and then
if she's jumping up,
yeah,
we're doing something wrong.
Right. So it doesn't embarrass me. Like I told my kids, I'll be embarrassed for them. So anytime I can celebrate them, the arena fades away, and it's just me and them playing a game that we love. And I think you can see that in how my kids play and how I coach. So.
If I'm not mistaken, last year you had a little problem with some officials, a couple of technical fouls that did I not mistake?
Listen, Ernesto, you got me wrong, because I haven't had a technical foul since I became the head coach at Las Cruces High School.
Really?
No.
That was okay. I thought I remember last game at Centennial. No, I think you got a warning. I don't remember what it was.
A warning is a warning.
A warning. Okay.
Now. I
got people yelling over there.
Listen,
calm down over there.
I have not got a technical foul.
Okay, so no Okay, now I just jinxed it, because now come hoopla. Look what's going to happen.
No, listen. I think every official in this city. I could be wrong, but I think every official in this city would say that I spend my time coaching my kids. That's what I'm there for. We don't have the time to waste my energy, in a conversation with an official about something I can't control. I'm a very good communicator. I think I communicate well with the officials. I think we have good relationships, and I spend, like you said, I spend most of my time coaching my kids, and that's where I want to keep my focus at.
Want to talk a little more just pro hoops for you? Who are some of your favorite WNBA players, and who do some of your teammates look up to see?
I'm a player fan. It's a hard thing is I'm a college basketball fan, and so when those college players graduate and they get drafted to the WNBA and they're all at different places, I have a hard time not rooting for those players. But because Phoenix is so close, it was just easy to adopt that team, and was very blessed a few years ago to go to the All-Star game in Phoenix and met just about every top-notch WNBA player, got their autographs, and I'm still a fan of the game. Got to go to the Final Four and watch UConn get upset in the championship. I was there live, so just a fan of women's basketball and how far it's come since I was in high school, and just excited to see, female athletes on such a high stage. I just think that's awesome. So, but I love to go watch a Mercury game. We try to get down there as much as we can.
Do you think Becky Harmon will get an NBA head coaching job sometime soon?
I guarantee you that's coming soon, and how awesome for our female athletes, and we see female referees in the in the NBA, WNBA, and in the NFL, and their assistant coaches in the NBA, and that's coming, Ernesto. And I think it's awesome because the basketball mind isn't a gender, right? I mean, we all know the game very well. People have spent a lot of time fine tuning what they do on the court, and it's about time for that to happen. So,
favorite NBA team or favorite NBA player?
Listen, I grew up a Bulls fan, and I'm and that's it. That's where I'll stick. But love to watch the growth and where Steph Curry came from as a player, and his story to me is so inspiring, and to see him out on the court. So I'm a more college basketball fan. I like the kids I like there to be a little loyalty there. So I watch a lot of college basketball, and that's where I spend most of my time.
All right, final question to put you on the spot on. I'm going to leave you with this one here. You get a New Year's resolution. I'm going to give you 3 New Year's resolutions. What do you hope to accomplish by the end of next year?
Our number one goal, is a resolution is more about, what do I want to maybe stop doing, or what
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. What can you do better?
But for me, I'm a constant learner. So I want to do better. I feel like I spend a lot of time watching film and game planning, but my goal is to be a better coach, to build better relationships. I mean, I feel like I'm a player's coach. We have pretty good relationships, but I became a mom 2 years ago, and that changed my perspective on kids, and on coaching, and on sports, and on winning and losing. So I think my daughter has made me a better coach. I want to be better on the court for everybody else's kids, and I want to be better on the court for my own kids. So I guess my resolution is to make her proud first, and to earn the right to be called coach by a bunch of great athletes that we have at Cruces High. So.
All right, and I'll probably stay out of Miss Rogna's office as well. But
hey, listen, I like going there. Right now, we always have great conversations. We're good. We're on a good.
Isn't it great to have a principal who puts that much effort into the school? And
listen, you just can't be said enough what she does for our school, our community, and high school athletics. And you too, Ernesto. I just appreciate what you do with this podcast, and for high school athletics here in Las Cruces. This is huge. It's really cool to watch. It's just good. It's good for the kids. It's good for boys basketball.
Oh yeah, it hasn't led to any bulletin board material yet or anything. I'm sure there was nothing there. Oh, what did he say about? What did Coach Lab say about his daughter getting back? And what time? What's the period? Or what did he say about being a dad and a coach? That never goes out anywhere. And that's not like Coach Abney's like, hey, did you hear what he said?
Right. No, you do a lot for high school athletics, and we're just really appreciated. And I appreciate you inviting me here tonight, and it's been great, and just excited. It's gonna be a great district. I mean, like you said, all the teams are competitive, and it can be anybody's game on any given night. So
I just have a feeling this is the best I've seen it for girls basketball in a while. Where I would tell you this: if you think you've got it predicted, and let's just say there's a certain team that wears green and gold that's had a lock hold on things, it always gets competitive, and a very good crowd. Maybe you're gonna have let Coach Benjamin let you borrow the lights and everything else to help you out, and the smoke for that one, right?
Hold off on the light and smokes, but
you don't want the light and smokes?
No. Hey,
come on. Well, does he charge on that? Will he not let you use it?
He might. I guarantee he might. But no, we'll stick to doing what we do, and he's got a great team, and they deserve a little bit of that hoopla. So, and speaking of the green and gold over there, it's what he's done for girls basketball here in this town is big. I played for Coach Maya, and so just it's exciting for me to be able to take the court against him, and it'll be even more exciting when we take the court and take a win from him.
This is why I love Coach, because we were back in the 90s enjoying some great music and great basketball. My number was Jordan time back then.
Yeah,
and I know we're in the same part.
That's why I tell these kids, they warm up to some horrible music. I'm like, let me make the playlist. Let me make the playlist. Please.
Why? Whoa. Well, how about this? If they don't win, you make the playlist, and if they win, they get the playlist. How about that?
The problem is if they don't win, I'm watching too much film to make a playlist. So
I'll put something together for you. You want a 90s remix track?
90s remix. Let's go.
Belle Biv DeVoe.
Sounds good to me. A little poison in there. I'd be happy with that.
Last question for you. Which fans are more rowdier? Your Cruces girls fans, which get louder, or the Cruces boys fans? I know there's two moms, so I wonder who's the loudest.
Listen, we have great fans and great parents. I mean,
I know one of them is here.
she is
That
here.
she gets louder, but I don't know if she's as loud as the Cruces mother of a big tall kid that plays there, who also probably has been told by security, you have to calm down a little bit, man.
I think our parents do a great job of just cheering our kids on and whatnot. But you want the kids to play in those kind of environments. You know, I've been to some games around here, and the gym is dead and quiet, and that's a tough place for kids to try to motivate and get going. So we lean on our fan base to help us out and get us going, and we love it. We love our parents and we love our fans.
Well, let me take this time to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you and your family. I can't wait to meet your daughter. We're going to go and sit down, have some dinner, get everything going. I think there's an NFL game. I don't know where they're at. I think the Rams are trailing the Seahawks, and I don't know what else is going on with the Redskins.
I was told dinner was part of this, so that's mainly while I'm here.
That's Miss Stacy's.
Okay,
that's
Bill,
her.
Bill.
She's the one
Let's go
handling
eat.
that. Yeah.
Let's go eat.
Bill's already said he got it all. No sweat is what he said. No sweat. All right. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll look forward to some great basketball. Hoopla basketball tournament, 27, 28, 29, over 24 games, 3 days in a row. Centennial High School, boys and girls. If you just want to get out of the house, Hoopla, you don't want to fight with your family, come on out. Enjoy, right?
Right? Yeah, there's nothing better than.
And I'll throw a 90s remix for you there.
There you
so
go.
You can
I'm
hear
expecting it. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm expecting it.
little Blackstreet and maybe some NSYNC.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, late Britney, okay.
Hey, listen, I'm a little more. When I say 90, I'm a little more like Tupac, Biggie, Snoop. So maybe we can't go that direction, but that's more my vibe.
Well, they have that. I'm sure the athletic directors always give me a lot of lectures, and then when they say, "Why is that song playing?" I didn't pick it. The girls picked it.
You can blame me.
Yeah, no, there you go. Make sure to check out all the excitement of high school hoopla basketball tournament. Lori Selby, we hope to have you back. If you guys make it to the tournament, we will definitely try to talk to you again. And good luck, and thanks for giving us the latest update on what's going on with your team. Good luck, as they will take on Shiprock at 3:30. Once again, Monday, followed by the boys undefeated team that plays, and then Centennial's girls and boys team will play the evening games. So you have plenty of time to head on out there. The earlier games should be kind of fun as well. 3 solid days. Do not miss out. And I'm going to let you go enjoy dinner. This is our Mesilla Valley News Sports Podcast, live from the Broken Spoke Tap House. We're off next week. We'll be back for the new year. And until then, we'll see you later.